What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the game channel. I'm AJ Gels. How's it going? We are, well, this isn't back with the weekly show. This is something I meant to do on this week's show. I just was not feeling so hot after, at the end before I did this block. So I have a quick article here, along with two videos. Both of them are from IGN First. Links to everything will be provided in the description. Basically, this is all about State of Decay 2. If it's not been clear in anything you've seen from me before, I loved the first State of Decay, and I am super excited for State of Decay 2. Can't wait for it to drop. So let me move my mouse and everything over to a more comfortable position. Alright, no, let's do this. State of Decay 2 for Xbox One and PC won't have microtransactions. Article by Eddie Makuch of GameSpot. State of Decay 2 will buck an industry trend and not feature any microtransactions, apparently. Jeff Strain, the studio head of developer Undead Labs, there we go, confirmed this to IGN in an interview. The story doesn't feature any quotes from Strain, but the report says, and I quote, "There won't be any microtransactions," end quote, in the zombie game. This is notable because many games from developers big and small feature microtransactions as a way to pull in more money beyond the initial purchase price. Now, I'm going to break off here and talk a little bit about microtransactions as opposed to State of Decay 2, and I love this image, how the eagle looks like the skull. God, it's awesome. Now, so many people absolutely can't stand microtransactions, and I completely understand why. For me, as a capitalist, I understand them 100%. Do I like them? Well, I really don't care about microtransactions. You want to buy them, you don't want to buy them, whatever. They're an option given to you by the developer. It's up to you, and, like, I've had people, I say, well, I buy a season pass, and people are like, oh, well, get really pissed off at me, and I'm like, no, I like season passes, because I'm going to buy the DLC for this game anyways. I mean, I run a YouTube channel, I like the game anyways, I'm going to buy the season pass. What's wrong with that? I don't get what the big deal is. I'll buy a season pass. Oh, well, you're just pushing an industry trend. I'm like, no, I bought something that I wanted to buy. That's how I see it. And I always say, if you want to vote for something, vote with your wallet. As in, if you don't like it, you don't buy it. But if you do like it, buy it. That's how you tell a company what you want. You don't sit and bitch. Granted, that's kind of what I do on this channel, but I'm speaking broad terms. But overall, my view on microtransactions are, I just don't care. I really don't. About the only time that I really give a shit about microtransactions are when they are something like what Battlefront 2 was doing. And now I know they, either yesterday or today or something, they changed their progression system in the game. I don't know what it is now, because I'm not going back to that game. I really have no interest to go back to that game. But the way it was before was not necessarily, your progression wasn't based on microtransaction. Your player progression was based off of loot boxes. Harmless enough. I mean, you depending on the loot boxes that you get, the drops you get better stuff. You'll either get good stuff or bad stuff, and that's just how you develop as a player. Well, okay. And that's led some people to, I think it was a tweet by Brian Altano of IGN, who said, well, I've been playing this game for this long, and I haven't spent $1 on it beyond actually buying the game, and all this stuff. And I'm sitting there going, well, yeah, because you're getting lucky drops. I didn't. I didn't get lucky drops. Or that, and I suck. So, neither of those helped me out too much. But what I'm saying is, with a game like that, when your progression is entirely based around loot boxes, microtransactions really do have an effect on the game, and that's when I have an issue with it. Look, microtransactions that are cosmetic, I don't care. Does it give you a special gun? Does it give you this? Does it give you that? I care, but at the same time, I don't, as long as it's balanced. My massive issue with, or if it helps you speed up progression, again, I don't really care. My problem is with something like the way Battlefront 2 did everything. That is where I have the issue with it, because I had a problem with just how they did the progression system normally. So, but again, I'm sorry, I went on to a tangent. Back onto the main point here. It's just, I don't care about microtransactions, but I know a lot of people do. So that's my detailed stance, if anybody was wondering. God damn. The original State of Decay for the Xbox 360 features some microtransactions. One of these is the Preppers Pack for 99 cents. It includes a gun, an SUV, and a melee weapon. While not a microtransaction per se, State of Decay also offered extra content to buy in the form of the Lifeline expansion, which was later bundled with the Year 1 Survival Edition for Xbox One. Okay, see, but the Prepper Pack I would consider you want to call it a microtransaction. Well, then, technically, Assassin's Creed Origins have microtransactions. They're not really microtransactions, in my opinion. They're small little bits of DLC that they could have released for free, but they tried to get a buck off of. Again, I don't see the issue here. I get some people do. I just don't. And yet again, I understand the frustration of, it was available day one. I should have been able to get it day one. Again, understand it. I just don't care. That's my thing, because I think a company's allowed to pretty much do whatever the hell they want. So, all right, let's see. Let's keep going before I keep getting sidetracked here. There's no word on why Undead Labs is electing not to offer microtransactions in the sequel. It's probably not to piss people off, but it may have something to do with the controversy around the business practices that reemerged after Star Wars Battlefront 2 last year. And again, it's the way they did it, not that they did it. Keep going. State of Decay 2, which launches in May for Xbox One and PC, will also sell multiple DLC packs after launch, with those who pre-order will get exclusive items. The game's standard edition goes for $30, while the Ultimate Edition, which includes the expansions, will sell for $50. Xbox Game Pass subscribers will be able to play State of Decay 2 at no extra cost, as all Microsoft-published games going forward will launch into the Xbox Game Pass library. While State of Decay 2 may not feature any microtransactions, plenty of other games do, and the business practice is not going away. For lots more of all that stuff for GameSpot. Like I said, you can go follow all the hyperlinks that this site offers if you follow the link down below. I think I made my point clear pretty much on microtransactions. Let's get into the really fun stuff. These are two videos by the on the IGN channel. These are those IGN first looks. I really like these things. These are great. We're going to be doing a deeper look at upgraded base building system, which I thought was really fun in the first State of Decay. So I'm really interested to see what this one's going to allow us to do. And then we have actually like 22 full minutes of an actual solo gameplay. So we'll see that, and let's get rolling.
Ryan McCaffrey with IGN. I'm with Richard Fogey from Undead Labs. We're looking at State of Decay 2, and we are going to dig a little deeper into the base building stuff and the different upgrades you can do to your community shelter.
Yeah.
Richard, what do you think? We're not at the beginning of the game here.
No,
we're
this is definitely not the beginning of the game. This is more towards the end of the game, a bit of an aspirational thing. But you can see my base is a little bit of a mess right now, and there's some unused facility slots that we have in here that we can get fixed up. So I was going to give you a quick tour of what's going on.
Yeah, that'd be great. I know, of course, base building has been a huge part of State of Decay, even in the first game, and even more so here. And there's you've redesigned the UI, the menus, and there's so many more options and things you can do with your base that I was hoping you could kind of walk us through some of this new stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we spent a lot of time looking at the feedback that we got about how the base systems work, and specifically a lot of the feedback that we got on the UX, which wasn't amazing on the first game. And we put a lot of energy into making sure people could build the base of their dreams and achieve their aspirational goals of what would you do in the zombie apocalypse. Yeah. So one of the biggest changes from State of Decay 1 to State of Decay 2 is we've added zombies to the game.
As zombies walk into your base there. I guess you don't have any perimeter defenses, any passive defenses.
I have a watchtower, but it's not doing good work right now. But what I was going to say before the zombies interrupted me is, in addition to the normal slots that we had in State of Decay 1, we now have these large slots, which are for larger projects that will benefit your base significantly by having things like this farm slot, for instance.
Cool. Okay.
It's a large slot. The benefits for that is it's gonna give me a lot of food per day, as well as some other cool functionality. Man, they just keep coming.
Such is the unpredictable nature of State of Decay.
Yeah, they're not really cooperating with the fact that we want to do this.
All right. Well, first off, I want to kind of go with A. I do kind of like the UI. It's a little bit more cartoony than in the first one, but I like the looks of everything. I mean, the gameplay looks smooth. You know, like when they're hacking apart zombies. I kind of want to scooch back here though and take kind of a look at this area. Okay, so again, I just like how everything's laid out a lot simpler now. I mean, you have the big spaces and the small spaces, and it looks like there's also a lot more spaces in general. I mean, again, like you said, this is late game stuff, so maybe your starting area is much smaller. Kind of like how you have the beginning level at the church, and then you have then you move on and can move on to bigger and bigger bases. Personally, what I like to do, I like to start at the church and then go into the town, the big town where the woman at the I can't think of what she is, the mayor's office. I like that big, like that warehouse area. That's my personal favorite. Sorry, back on to whatever the hell I'm doing. But it looks like there's more options. There's more buildings. I almost tried to scroll here. Looks like there's more options, more buildings, more slots to do. I'm curious to see what this little like water and power thing is. Like, is that like a bonus these areas provide, or like is it something that they need? I like how we have the car slots out here, a little bit more space to view. Maybe if you park the car there, maybe you can actually see and look to repair the car. Although I think that was in the first State of Decay, but. All in all, I think the biggest thing that I like here is the UI difference. It's bigger, it's easier to look at, it's easier to understand. You know, you have the community. I'm gonna guess beds, workers, or I'm gonna guess bed. I'm not sure here. I'm gonna go. That's beds, workers, unassigned people. I don't know. What I'm maybe actually kind of hoping you can do is like each individual person, like from the first game, they all had their own abilities or had their own like kind of specialization areas that you can choose who you want to put in different areas. You know, like you want this person to be the doctor, you want this person to be the cook, you want this person to be the this, that, the other thing. I think that could be really cool, and I'm kind of hoping we get to see that, or you know, like this person's really good at shooting, so I'm gonna want this people, kind of like what Metal Gear Solid 5 did, where you had the jobs inside Mother Base. You know, like this is your defense team, this is your research team. I mean, I'd like to see something like that. Now, I mean, it's wishful thinking. I don't know if it's actually in this, but
the unpredictable nature of State of Decay.
there we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're not really cooperating with the fact that we want to do this. Put this thing together.
They just want to be in the video too.
Everybody wants their time to shine. Another thing that you can see going on here, because of the zombies coming in constantly, there have been a couple sieges on this base recently, and I haven't done any of the maintenance required to kind of keep it back up. So you can see my kitchen slot there is currently wrecked.
You need some
and needs
water?
To be repaired.
Is that what that indicates?
It has water. So there's water coming into the base right now from this water outpost that I have. I also have fuel income from this and a couple of materials outposts that are generating.
Excuse me. I really I didn't catch that when I said those outposts. I was thinking watchtower or something. Interesting. Okay, so outposts in the first State of Decay were kind of like little safe houses out in the world that you could run out, and I could drop off supplies here, or I could resupply at the little supply lockers here there. You know what? God damn, I'm gonna do a State of Decay Let's Play on this channel. I'm gonna do it. I love State of Decay. I'm gonna freaking do it. Sorry, off topic. But I like it here how you have materials coming in each half day. You have water coming in each half day. You have fuel coming in. That's really cool. I like that concept.
Materials for me. What I need to do now is get some folks to start fixing up some of these facilities that I have. The watchtowers are working right now and keeping these zombies out of the base because it's busted. So I've got labor over there off to the side. You can see I have 4 labor right now, and I can get a couple people started on fixing this up. So it's going to take about 15 minutes for that to get fixed up.
Okay. So I'm gonna guess that's available. So I'm gonna guess you have 6 total community members. They had 4 who are available to work, and 2 were in bed. I think that's how that works.
Infirmary's getting fixed up. That'll be done in the next 4 minutes or so. I was desperate to get that back because I had a lot of survivors to maintain here. But in addition to adding a lot of different new facilities in the new large facility slot, we also added a lot of functionality to the existing facility structure that we have, and actions that you can perform in those facilities as you upgrade them, as you get access to different facility mods and things like that. You're able to then come in and craft different consumables,
Nice.
weapon modifications that you can use, and in the case of vehicles, you can upgrade certain vehicles if you have an auto workshop, for instance. So because I have the right survivors and I have this upgraded consumables workshop, I can make these soda can bombs. I need power. That's the other symbol up there, and I don't have any power in my base right now. I can get power by either coming over to one of these empty slots, and I can build a generator.
Let's do that. Maybe.
I can get that going. I do not have enough materials
Not
right
quite.
now I'm
Not
just
enough
short by
labor
one.
or materials.
But if I were to have those things, I could start building this generator. It would take about 16 minutes for us to do that, and then I would have power at this facility here, which would then enable me to build any of these things that have requirements that also need power.
And just like the first game, the time it takes to construct these things, those are real world minutes, right? Not in-game minutes?
They're actually, because we don't have offline progress anymore, we got rid of that functionality.
Right.
It is just straight up in-game minutes. So
Okay.
if you were to leave the game while it was about 15 minutes left, or 5 minutes left to go, when you come back, it's going to be 5 minutes left to go. And we made a lot.
Thank fucking God. That was my biggest pet peeve with this game in the first place, was when you leave the, and I finally get an answer to that question with the offline progress, and I've never figured out how to if you could turn that off. But I really hated it when you leave the game and then you come back, say like I'm busy, and I came back 2 days later, everyone's dead because we have no food, we have no water. It's really annoying. That was my biggest pet peeve with the game the first time around.
A lot of adjustment and balance and tuning based on the fact that it's not going to be real world anymore. Some of those old facilities took hours to build. And yeah, so lots of different vehicle consumables that you can build, toolkits to maintain your vehicles. And we were talking about we have storage. You need to maintain your storage. This one has functionality that allows me to store. In addition to storing a lot of stuff, I can sort ammo. Some of my resources that I have in my community, I can turn them into other forms of currency that I need. For instance, I can load up this gas can. After I upgrade this facility, I'd be able to turn some of the materials I have into parts that I need, again, for crafting other items, consumables.
Cool. Can we also take a look? We went into it a minute ago, but just diving into that build menu of all the different types of structures that are available, and it's so many more than in the first game.
Right. We discovered that people were really fascinated by the concept of building an aspirational base, thinking about what it is that they valued in the context of a zombie apocalypse, which things they thought were important. Do they want to focus on aspects of the base that would give them better defenses? Do they want to focus on being prepared? Do they want to focus on compensating for the lack of food in the environment and trying to build farms and gardens and things like that? So we really wanted to give a variety of different options for solving these different problems. This hydroponics, it's like, oh, you can get +3 food a day, but it has a lot of different requirements, both in terms of facilities that you need to have and survivors that need to manage it. So we have facilities for managing morale. We have facilities for training your survivors so that they get better at different aspects of the game, getting better at shooting, getting better at combat, improvements to their health and stamina.
Isn't there an Xbox in here somewhere? Can you put a video game console?
If I were to build, if I were to build this lounge, I could show you the mod. Yeah, if I were to build that lounge, there it is.
And it's the original Xbox.
The original Xbox, the only thing that survived the apocalypse.
Love it.
But I can install.
Yeah, because those things were like 80 pounds.
I can install this bike generator. So I'm going to install this bike generator, and that's going to take a few minutes to do. Once that's done, I'll be able to put some labor into that, and somebody's in there pedaling away on the bike, and that's providing power to the base for a limited amount of time. Because
It's like a human hamster wheel.
it basically, exactly.
I mean, it's
right.
after the zombie apocalypse. You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do.
All right, well, that is an excellent look at some of the new and deeper base building mechanics in State of Decay 2. We are covering State of Decay 2 all month long here.
All right, last thing I want to point out, let's see if I can find the exact spot. And bear with me for a couple more seconds. Right here, the leader projects. I'm really curious to see what these are going to be. I mean, they didn't talk about them right there, but I'm curious to see what those are. But all in all, I like how looks like they haven't really diverged much from what they did in the first one, but how to put this, they didn't diverge away from a lot of the stuff that they did in the first one, but they're enhancing upon it. I really like it when developers do stuff like that, when they build off of instead of just deciding, you know what, let's change it. So I'm really excited to see what base building is going to be like come May. Real quick, we're about to see some single player gameplay. Yeah, upgrade base play. There's also a video for co-op multiplayer because in this one you can bring up to I think 4 players with you. There's a 4-player multiplayer that's available in this game. Just for time's sake, because I don't want to watch another full 25-minute video. We're gonna hold off on that. But here we go. We got another 20-some minutes of State of Decay gameplay.
Oh, am I glad to see you.
What's up? All right.
You got a shit pile of beds up there.
Sorry if I'm blowing out your eardrums. I'll turn it down a little bit. I didn't notice the first one to be that loud, and it's still a little much. Alright, I think that's a little better. Alright, first off, I mean, obviously, we're at night. I like the darkness. It's how it's completely dark. You really can't see anything, so you gotta kind of figure your way out around in the world. Again, I like the UI changes. Everything looks to be simple and easily laid out. I mean, you get your gas meter up here. You got your mission up here. Even when you were talking to them, I mean, they kind of zipped through the menu, but even then, it just looked much more nice and simple. Something I do want to point out right here, this little thermometer. I'm gonna guess. Do you have to worry about temperature in this game? Are there like really cold places? Like, can you change your character's outfits? Like, do you need like heavier jackets, or what's up with that? So that's interesting to me. Or should I zoom out and let us see like the full map? I love wiping out zombies with cars. See, I also like how they make it look like the cars actually stick to the road this time. In the first game, they almost like skated. They just didn't stick to the roads. Well, it really looks like there's.
Help would be real good right now.
I think combat seems to be pretty similar to what it used to be.
How are we expected to get through this?
Go on. Let it all out.
Wait a minute, let's scoot back a second. Yeah, okay. So, looks like total amount of ammo. Gun, so maybe you can keep a sidearm and a long arm. Or, like a sidearm and a long rifle. This one's interesting. So maybe you can change weapon fire. So like you have an automatic, you can switch it to single or switch between single and burst fire and single shot and automatic. There we go. And then this is the one that I find the most interesting. Looks like maybe there's different ammo types in this one as opposed to just this is a 9mm pistol. Maybe there's armor piercing or maybe there's a hollow point, Teflon coat, whatever. I don't know. This is all guess, but I'm interested. Again, it just everything looks to be combat looks to be about the same, just a lot tighter.
Up here.
Come on. Left bumper and attack, and that'll take out the head when they're on the ground like that.
I appreciate that.
Follow me. I'll take you home. And that's all I have.
There you go. You get him on the ground. I believe that's left bumper and whatever the attack button is. Yeah, I was about to say it should have been the other way around. Oh. It also looks like the cars can take more of a beating in this game than they used to be able to. I mean, you used to be able to like drive like a
Going out dancing, especially salsa. The beat, the music, the sound of heels on a wooden dance floor. As long as you knew the steps, you could fall into the rhythm and...
We're glad to have you with us.
It's nice to belong somewhere. Thank you.
We gotta get some more materials if we want to keep improving this place.
Like, you used to be able to drive around like in a big SUV and just run through just tons and tons of enemies,
Oh yeah.
as long
and
as you knew
your
the steps, you could fall into
vehicle would just be destroyed in like 2 minutes.
even with a perfect stranger.
See, I'm wondering if you have to like build areas like this, or if this is kind of already pre-built. Like, I'm wondering like exactly how much freedom comes in with base building. Granted, we just got off a video that showed base building, but it's like when you come to this area, is it like an empty lot and you decide to build it out of containers, or do you come here and it's all these containers and almost kind of set up like this? And I don't know. I'm curious about that. One of the survivors has blood plague. Ooh. That sounds scary.
I should be careful of plague zombies around here.
Oh, this is interesting. So this is, I'm gonna guess this might be your group of survivors, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. But I like how it sets them out like this. It used to be basically like in a notebook, was how all your survivors were laid out. But this way you don't have to go up and find them around the base and talk to them to bring them on your team. It looks like you can kind of set them up through this interface, which seems a lot easier to use. Or you can switch your lead character, or personally, I like to go out solo, just because it's, in my opinion, it's the easiest way to play, but, you know, I have weird play styles, so.
Queen here from the network, giving you the straight dope as always. We've been left in the cold. Do you remember our leaders? The ones who got us into this mess? But what I'm hearing is that they're all safe and sound in bunkers and tropical islands, just waiting until we're all dead.
Okay, so it looks like to me... Oh, so you actually have to account for weight. Wait. No, you had to do that in the first... Never mind. You had to do that in the first game anyways. It looks like the survivor points, it's kind of a currency system for taking items out of supply lockers. You get them for putting them in. It's a big thing. I can talk about it. It's easier to explain in context, so I'll kind of leave it there. It's interesting to see that back. I wasn't sure if that was going to make a return.
It's safe for them to come back.
We're making it way too easy for this.
Whoa. Okay. Let's hold off here. All right. So traits: slept in tree, hates horror movies, learned to garden. So we have, their total health, their total stamina, their standing. Oh, so they actually have different standings within the base. I'm gonna guess the longer they stay there, as in recruit. That's interesting. I that wasn't there the first time, but it looks like the skills have been simplified down to just cardio, wits, fighting, shooting, agriculture, all that stuff. But seeing that she has such a high level in agriculture, again, my question is, can you set her to be like your... Can you set them to be like groups of... How to put this? Is it like Metal Gear Solid 5, where you have this group dedicated to do this task, or this group dedicated to do this task, and you can set who's in what group based on their skills? Or is it just kind of a free-for-all, or does the game just send, like, because she has such a great gardening skill, she's going to do that? Like, that's my question.
The zombies to hear us in here.
Whoa. Oh, interesting. So, as she goes up in status, eventually she'll become sheriff? Or is that... Again, I'm asking questions to nobody. This could be interesting. I'd want to see this in a different character to see if it's the same thing. No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's the same thing, depending on... Huh. Oh, so that last skill is different for each character. Like, this one was utilities, for her was gardening. I didn't see what the other one was. Okay. Okay, then you can... Oh, specialize in your... Oh, so once you hit the max level, then you can specialize within that level. Interesting. Okay, that's some interesting stuff.
You talking to me?
Hey, here's a thought. I want to find allies in this town who will help us wipe out the Blood Plague. We can't do it alone.
Oh, okay. So I get so there. I'm sorry, I'm pausing so much. I just want to make sure my voice is coming in clear. It looks like that's just a thing telling you ammo type. That's just telling you fire rate. That's telling you, okay, so that stuff isn't, it's not like a press up, down, whatever to change it. At least that's what I can understand from looking at other menus. Okay, so that's how that works. Let me scooch back just a tad. Right here, community goals. Sheriff, meet the name. Okay, so that's it. So that's saying that a community goal of our base is to have somebody fit this role. I think that's what it is. That's my guess. It's not necessarily a. It's not necessarily a they will take this role, but this role is what people want to have taken. I think that's what it is. Oh no. You just alert them like that?
Not bad. Not bad.
I like how the food resource is a pizza. Oh wow. Oh, I also like how it shows the resource on the rucksack. Yeah, dude, bail. Bail or kill the volatile. Oh, he's dead. He's dead. You're out of here. You're screwed, dude. Oh. That was unpleasant.
No one heard that, right?
Okay, so looking at this area, it's looking like, you know, this is obviously your backpack for stuff you find out in the world. This is your equipped main weapon. This is your... Yeah. Just long enough to wield in combat when you don't have something better. Right, this is your main melee weapon, but this is your just in case. It was a survival knife in the other one. Like, all characters had it. So I'm gonna guess it's like a chef knife or like a screwdriver. That I think that's what the other character had that just died. It's something to basically protect yourself in the event your main weapon breaks. Your ranged weapon is your gun. And I'm not sure what this one is. Just because there's a thing blocking it. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so more bullets go into the backpack. Alright, makes sense. See, but I'd say no matter where you go, always take a car. That's my thing. I'd always say take a car just because you can use the trunk space to put stuff that you can't fit into your backpack, and stop shooting so goddamn much. That's again, it's the way I play. I really don't use my guns. Although I will say shooting looks a lot smoother than it used to. And again, and so do the enemy types. Everything looks a lot smoother than it used to. And I'm gonna keep saying it. I love it. It's awesome.
I'll take it from here.
Oh, it's rucksack. That's what it was. Okay. Oh, and you have your backpack plus your pockets. Okay. And pockets, I'm gonna get, it's like your pants pockets or whatever. Okay.
I don't even know where to look first.
Yeah, go back to your your home base.
I can't keep this up. Oh, great. Here they come. How could I miss my chance at that?
Looks like we ran out of time on that.
Now, where am I going to put that?
Oh, but does it still mark it as a container? Oh, that's nice.
Can't do it.
It looks like even if you can't pick something up, yeah. Like that area, like she couldn't pick up what was in there, but it's still marked as a container. So that's something that the first game didn't do. That was really kind of annoying. As soon as you open like a pantry or a fridge or whatever, and maybe you can't take the resource that's there, but you're gonna come back later for it. That's nice to see. That's a nice quality of life thing. Awesome. Head back to base. Dump off your crap.
I gotta rest.
Now is when you start shooting.
Fire though!
Oh! Oh, come on. Look, I know I shouldn't be making fun of other people's skills. I suck, but it's really funny.
We have a few zombies coming toward base. Nothing we can handle, though.
Oh, beautiful shot. Oh, or is that temperature not like ambient temperature? Is that like you're gonna get sick if that temperature goes too high? Like is that your internal thermometer kind of temperature? If that makes sense. I love that move.
My skin is... Everybody get ready. We have an army of Z's coming in. These ought to be helpful.
Now who's gonna laugh at my stupid jokes?
Oh, see, I like this.
Okay, the creeps are on top of our base right now.
Time to reload.
Quiet now. More zombies are headed this way.
Are you trying to kill me?
Time to reload. I'm on my last magazine.
Alright, guys, well, that's going to about do it for this one. Tell me what you guys thought down in the description below. Like I said, all of everything that I talked about in this video, links to everything will be in the description below. Honestly, I think my biggest takeaway was the fact that there is no longer offline play, or, yeah. So I like the fact that when I'm not playing the game, it won't play for me. That was just my biggest problem with the game, with the first one, was the fact that just when I stopped playing, it kept going. But I mean, in all honesty, I really dug this game. I really dug these couple videos. I'm liking the enhanced art style. I'm liking how it's really staying true to what the first game was. It's just prettier, it's just bigger, it's just more. I really like it. I'm really excited. This game will be coming out in May. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned on this channel. There's more stuff coming out next week, because I know we have, I've said I'm going to be starting a new narrative adventure game called, what's it called? I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I mentioned it in the weekly show. I'll be starting A Way Out on Friday. Next week is Far Cry 5. Great stuff coming up this month in March. There's stuff coming out next month, and we will play this in May. Thanks for watching. Facebook, Twitter, the website, minds.com. Links to down in the description below. Like, comment, not already. Please subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more next time. But until then, I'm AJ Gels. This is the Other Gaming Channel. I'm out.